All right, so I have netted my baby Ornate, which is no longer a baby. I have him in here, and I'm gonna see if I can add him into my 180. It's about to get really torn up, I'm sure. I think he's big enough to add. All right, so the Ornate is in here. I don't want to stress him out too much, but he's actually looking a lot bigger than I thought. The Ornate is pretty big at this point. Let me go ahead and add him into this bucket. So there he is. You can see there's a lot of duckweed, but I'm gonna try to clean out this duckweed and get him out and see if I can maybe get a measurement. I feel like he's just a little bit smaller than my Delhaize. All right, so here's the Ornate. Beautiful colors, really nice finish. I think it's finally time to add him into the 180-gallon tank. I really don't have a good way of getting him out of here without also getting duckweed in here. I'll do my best and we'll see. All right, the Ornate's in here. Head to tail goes all the way across the bottom of this bucket, so you're not gonna be able to see. Maybe you could see him inside on the bottom. All right, he's in. All right, now they've properly stirred up everything. Yeah, they've made a huge mess of everything going in there. But here's the baby Ornate that's no longer a baby. Just the tip of his snout there is a little bit worn out from the net. He's probably gonna find somewhere dark and hide for a little while. Like all of this, I fed them earlier, but this is all, they just stirred all this up. So much for a clean tank, right? Looks like the Oscar's checking out the new Ornate. And the Ornate is hanging out next to his, hopefully, brand new Delhaize buddy. This is going a lot more smooth than I could have hoped for. I was not expecting this to go as well. I didn't think this Ornate was as big as it is. They're not quite next to each other, but the new Ornate is just smaller than the Delhaize. Now that it's in here, everything should be good, and I can start clearing out the 125 and moving the other fish into it. All right, so here's the current state of affairs with my 125. It looks like crap. I just pulled out my Ornate and I pulled out the Jack Dempsey and the flower horn, and I have them in buckets except for the Ornate I added into the 180 over there. And now I am going to clean this tank. I have Siamese algae eaters in here and they'll stay for now. But I'm gonna go ahead, I can finally remove this divider. I was fish sitting for about a month or two, so I need to remove that divider now, and I'll take out the plants and decorations, and I'll start scooping out as much duckweed as I can, and then I'll start gravel vacuuming and siphoning, and I'll probably fill this tank up halfway and drain it again just to get everything out of here. So here's the 125. I've got it all cleaned out with the exception of all this duckweed. I got, believe it or not, most of it out, but there's still a ton. And that's just gonna come out over time. I've adjusted my filters and my power head to blow it all to the surface, and that's all just gonna die off over time, and I'm gonna have the lights off for a while too, so that'll help. But yeah, the tank's looking a lot better, so we're gonna go ahead and start moving some fish in here. So I've got the lungfish over here in the right side. I'm gonna go ahead and try to scoop them out and bring them into the other tank. I put the divider in the tank already right here so I could put my cichlids in here. I'm just going to pull, oh, that's a terrible sound. I'm just gonna pull the glass forward. All right, I anticipate this to be pretty messy. I think this guy's gonna splash a lot on me. He's gonna be very strong. I don't want him to hit himself on any of the walls or the glass. I'm trying to do this quickly but carefully. Let me just get him out of the corner there. So far, so good. He's being calm. He's being really calm here. I think once he realizes he's in a net, he's gonna freak out. I'm just gonna try to go carefully here because he's gonna splash, I bet. Oh, no splashing. But here we go, I've got the lungfish. Let's go ahead and get him into the other tank. All right, back at the 125, let's go ahead and get him in here and let's try to not make a big mess. I can't believe he's being so calm about this. My crazy duckweed. All right, so you can see I've got this ridiculous duckweed thing going on here, but that's hopefully gonna go away. He's looking like he's hiding in a little cave in the back here. Okay, so the lungfish is now in the 125 and everything is good with the exception of all this duckweed, but hopefully that will die off here soon with the flow. The way that I have this flow pushing the duckweed under the water, that should kill it. But now I have in this bucket and in this bucket, I've got to get my cichlids and put them into the 60. First, here's the Jack Dempsey. All his colors washed out right now. Normally he's so pretty. And let's get the flower horn next. All right, the flower horn's in. I know the light's not the best. I'll try to get a better angle here in just a second. Okay, so here's the Jack Dempsey, doing okay, just, you know, pretty washed out. And then the flower horn is right here. You can see she's pretty beat up. That's why I put the divider in. They're gonna be in here for a little while, so I don't want her getting any more hurt than she is now. And I'll put some salt and she should heal up. But let me go ahead and cover these lids before I forget. I'm gonna have to put the camera down for this. Okay, so they're secured in here and the lungfish is secured in the other tank, so I could finally start cleaning up. I moved the light so we could see a little bit better, but this is the Jack Dempsey and he's doing pretty good. He's starting to get darker already. You can see some of those blues, very nice. And then the flower horn is very beat up. Again, that's why there's a wall here and, you know, I gotta nurse her back to health. So I have my filters blowing all the duckweed down into the water. So my whole tank looks like a green snow globe right now. But with the duckweed getting submerged like this, it should kill it. And at least most of it to where it's like a tolerable amount. And I'm gonna have the lights off in this tank now that I took all the plants out and put them in another tank. So I don't need the lights on. That'll help kill the duckweed, and then all this water is gonna kill the duckweed. Hopefully that will look better in a couple days, and I'll check back. The 180 is looking way better than it was before, now that all the stuff is no longer stirred up. Here is that Ornate, my baby Ornate that I grew up from about an inch size, is in the 180 with the big boys. Like, look at that thing. So I'm pretty happy right now. I've been growing this one out for like a year now, and I'm really happy to see it in this tank.